Good morning. Thank you for joining me for devotionals this week. I'm glad that we're still able to do this together. I hope that this continues to be meaningful for you. It's been great to see your feedback and read your messages, and I really appreciate that we can gather as a virtual community for these short morning devotions. Today, as we go through the daily lectionary, I'll be reading from the Old Testament selection, Deuteronomy chapter 30, beginning in verse 1. This is the speech of Moses to the Israelites just before they're entering into the promised land. He's telling about all of the things that will come for them and all of the rules that God expects them to follow. And this is what Moses says. When all these things have happened to you, the blessings and the curses that I have set before you, if you call them to mind among all the nations where the Lord your God has driven you, and return to the Lord your God, and you and your children obey him with all your heart and with all your soul, just as I am commanding you today, then the Lord your God will restore your fortunes and have compassion on you, gathering you again from all the peoples among whom the Lord your God has scattered you. Even if you are exiled to the ends of the world, from there the Lord your God will gather you, and from there he will bring you back. The Lord your God will bring you into the land that your ancestors possessed, and you will possess it, and he will make you more prosperous and numerous than your ancestors. We've got to do a little bit of reconstruction of events here to figure out what's going on in this passage. And in fact, you can read some of the chapters that came before to get some of this background for what Moses is predicting. What he's predicting is the exile. There's going to be a time when the people of Israel have been driven from this land that God is promising them, from the land that they are about to enter. Now, we believe through the scholarship that has been done over the past couple of centuries that these stories in Deuteronomy were gathered by people who were experiencing the exile. And so, of course, they would bring to mind the stories about Moses warning them what would happen if they disobeyed God, that they would be exiled from the land. And it makes sense that they would remember these stories about Moses telling the people there's a path to come back, that even if God gets so angry with you that he drives you away from the promised land, that at some point, God will also be forgiving. God will also bring you back to the land. And the key here is obedience. This was the rule of law that Moses was asking the people to follow, the rule of God's law. To show obedience to God, to show that they loved God by doing what God asks them to do, in exchange for all of the blessings God has given them. It's an agreement, and it goes both ways. So the path to come back to the promised land, the path to restore their relationship with God, is to obey God with heart and soul, to do the things that God is asking. And why does God want them to do these things? Because we might see this and think, oh, well, God is being very black and white here, requiring them to do exactly what is commanded without question. The reason God commands these things in the very first place is so that it will go well with them, so that they will prosper, for the benefit of the people. That's why God makes these commandments and rules, not to limit people, not to punish them, but so that it will go well with them. And so if they remember that, and if they obey coming from their heart and soul, not just from a sense of needing to check off the boxes so that we can make God feel a little better over there, well then, in that authentic relationship, blessing is possible, forgiveness is possible, hope is possible, even when they're exiled to the ends of the earth. As things open up for us, may God gather us back from all the ends of the earth to which we have been scattered as well. Would you join me in prayer today? God, you care for all of creation and watch over the earth and its inhabitants day and night. Help us to learn to love all things created by your hand. Teach us that we are part of a larger tapestry, woven together for the good of all. Amen. Have a blessed day.